And I think, like Elaine and Leona said, he turned to be a Jew, and he knew that the people were going to be against the Jew. He was a Negro and a Jew, so what worse luck could you have in this world? But he didn't let that stand his way. So he went on and he fought the battles, and no matter how hard it became, he always said to himself, yes, I can. And that's why I think this is a great title for the book. And that no matter, I think everyone should think, no matter how hard it may seem, and just like this course, no matter how hard it may seem and how hard it may be to grasp these things, I think that we should say, yes, I can, because to me, like in typing, I find it difficult to get it, but I say to myself sometimes, yes, I can, and pretty soon I think that I'll be like Sammy Davis Jr. I hope I'll be on top.
Taped exercise 1C. The purpose of this tape is to give you practice in using the correct word combinations for was and were. These sentences use pronouns with the verb to be in the past tense. She was downtown last night.
She was downtown last night.
It was downtown last night.
It was downtown last night. They were downtown last night.
One of the most imaginative courses involves the teaching of business speech. It is a sensitive area. Many students have dialect problems. The language of the disadvantaged, though powerful and often eloquent, is not practical in the mainstream of business activity. The Adult Education Center literally teaches a second language using program tapes and standard language laboratory techniques.
He was nervous. She was nervous.
The director of the center and its major source of inspiration and innovation is a former public school teacher, Mrs. Alice Geoffray. She is 43 years old, a grandmother, as well as the mother of 7 children. She's been teaching for 15 years, and she's been awarded the American Freedom Foundation Medal and Plaque for, quote, teaching individual responsibility, personal liberty, and love of country. The center's success, she says, depends on treating people like people. A small cherubic doll upon her desk has 4 faces, reflecting moods ranging from sadness to gladness. It usually says, I am happy today. Under her supervision, her staff produced a book explaining their second language theory for the Negro. It has become a model for many teachers across the country attempting to effect the so-called dialect shift.
Many of the people we teach speak a non-standard kind of English that is simple, powerful, and often eloquent. But sometimes it is not accepted in the places where they want to go. So we use the approach of an educator called E.S. Newton, who says, we accept you and your language. Use it with your friends, your family, and in your own environment. But if you want to participate in every area of American life, why not learn the language that is spoken there? And this is a very valid approach, because we do change our clothes for different occasions, and so we change our speech for different occasions.
Mrs. Geoffray, what about Jessie? Would you say she is typical of the kind of student you have here?
Yes, Jessie is typical. She is the mother of several children whom she must support. She's worked at the most menial of tasks, but she's capable of doing much more. This is such a waste when a woman has talent to contribute to the community, not to develop it to the fullest potential. And this is what she's doing here. She does it with great diligence. She's very eager to learn. In fact, once you have taught here, it spoils you for any other situation, because the women are so eager to learn. They don't urge you to get out of class. They want every minute to count. And this is a great personal and professional satisfaction, because teachers like to teach people who want to learn.
Mrs. Geoffray, what lessons do you think can be applied to other programs?
I think the idea of quality education should be kept in mind whenever we're training the unemployed and the underemployed. I think the training time should be more realistic. I don't go along with this idea of instant training. I think we should give people skills that will last them a lifetime, not just this period of time when everyone is so concerned about the unemployed. I think, too, that the business speech course that we offer should be incorporated into all programs that are training people in jobs where speech could be an obstacle to employment. Because the business speech course, in addition to providing the students with a second language, increases their poise and self-confidence and raises their self-image, which is so important to this kind of person.
She was going. It was going. We were going. They were going.
It's a great pleasure for me to be here and to have the opportunity to visit with you. I'm not going to make a speech in the sense of a formal speech, but I want to share
Responsible
with you
businessmen realize there are more job openings than there are skilled personnel to fill them. Each week, a New Orleans civic or business leader talks to the class. This is Murray Fincher, president of the Chamber of Commerce.
In this position as president of the Chamber of Commerce, I've had an opportunity to see the sides of life in New Orleans that I perhaps would not have seen in any other way. And the message that I'd like to bring to you this morning is that a great many people in New Orleans care about the success of this school. One of the things that we did just recently was to conduct a survey among all the members of the Chamber of Commerce to determine how many jobs there were available in New Orleans at this point in time. How many jobs are there available and what type jobs are they? And we heard from more than 200 firms at the last count. And at that time there were more than 4,000 jobs available in the New Orleans area of various types, of various skills.
In recognition of your significant contribution to the students of the Adult Education Center this morning, this certificate is presented to you for your significant contribution.
Thank you very much.
The board of directors of the Adult Education Center have only enough funds to last this year. Board President James Coleman hopes to stimulate much broader participation. He believes if business takes the initiative, with government help, his school can set a pattern for all sorts of practical training enterprises. He is mainly interested now in companies setting up scholarship funds to sustain his school.
They are looking for opportunities to train people to bring on their payroll. I know in our own corporation's point of view, we have allocated sums of money for the specific purpose of training people. And I think this offers a wonderful opportunity here to have a scholarship sponsor program. And I think many companies in the community are perhaps not aware of this and overlooking a wonderful opportunity.
Well, I think we all agree that we have a very worthwhile institution here. To me, the end result is the product we produce. And it looks like from the success of the employment of these girls that we are producing a very acceptable product. And this is what we can advertise and show to the community, that the end product is an employable, efficient office worker. And I can't see any reason why we won't obtain the full support of the business community in New Orleans.